Welcome to the wonderful world of Jason and Yare's podcast. It's called Jason and Iyare at Large.
Hey, Ashik, Jason and Iyare, you know it's large.
We have got to start off with the story of a young girl who was born in her car before they could get her to the hospital.
Okay.
So her parents are rushing to the hospital, and before they
popped
get
out.
there, she popped out, and her dad had to kind of get in there and kind of untangle the umbilical cord and everything. And when they got to the hospital, the hospital people were ready for him, the nurses and the doctors, and they actually managed to turn it into a completely normal, healthy birth.
Oh, wicked.
All right. So relieved were her parents. They were like, okay, well, we need to give her a special name because she came out in a special way. So they decided to name her after the place that she was born.
Okay.
The Lexus.
Oh.
All right, so her name is Lexus.
Shall I tell you what's weird about that? I know someone, actually an ex-girlfriend, who named her daughter Lexi.
Lexi, what, after a car?
Well, I didn't ask her, but I guess so.
Right.
Lexus, Lexi.
Well,
What do you think of the name?
Lexus as a girl's name?
Yeah.
Nah.
Hang on, wasn't Lexus in Dallas or Dynasty or something?
No, that was Alexis.
Oh, right, okay.
Alexis Carrington.
Oh,
Was in
wow.
Dynasty. Yeah.
You watched a lot of TV when you were younger.
Just, you know what I mean? My game is deep.
It really, really is.
All the way deep.
You were just a rich kid. I didn't have a TV, that's all. Do you know what I mean?
No, all I'm saying is, I don't think Lexus is a good name for a kid.
No, you're right. I mean, why would you?
Yeah, what if he'd had a crappier car?
Yes.
She could have ended up being called Rover. Imagine a girl called
Rover. Oof.
Yeah.
Put her up, I'm minging.
That kid would have just got it every day of her life.
But
And
the
she
kid
still might. All right. The
Yeah.
thing is, Lexus is a brand, and at the moment, Lexus is a nice
It's doing
brand.
all right.
They do nice cars or whatever. But 20 years from now, man, Lexus could have gone downhill. Lexus could be the equivalent of like what Skoda was a
Yes.
few years ago.
Yes.
That could happen.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you've got a girl with a name that like means cheap budget. You know what I mean? Broke down.
Anybody can have it.
unreliable, You know what I mean? You know, you don't want to do that.
No. What's a good name? What's a good name then?
Well, do you know what I mean? If she'd been born in the back of a BMW,
yeah.
and they could have called her Beatrice Margaret Winona, whatever her surname was.
And
Smith.
that's better than Lexus.
Yeah, well, that would have been a little bit better. because
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Anybody
Margaret
born-
Winona.
Anybody born in the 21st century with the name...
What, like Princess Beatrice? I suppose Mercedes is a girl's name.
Yeah, there's a
nowadays.
couple of girls around called Mercedes.
So he should have, like, her dad is budget, because that's what really, you know what I mean?
Okay.
When you get a Lexus, really, what you're saying is I can't quite afford a BMW or a Merc.
Wow.
Innit? That's what you're saying, innit?
Your brother
really?
had a Lexus, innit?
Until he can
And
get a
Merc.
BMW.
Yeah, oh,
Until he can get a Beamer,
BMW,
exactly.
yeah.
You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying.
And other thing is your mum's a midwife, isn't she? Wow, so this story is all you.
Yeah, man.
Like, your mum could have
She
been the
was,
person,
yeah.
that could have been your niece being born in the back of your brother's Lexus.
It could have
And-
happened to us. It could have happened
been
to
you.
This story could have happened to me.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good car to have a kid in so you could name your kid
Yeah, I
after.
know, but...
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a Jaguar.
There's a Jaguar, right? Yeah,
There you
that would have
go.
been... Maybe that's how they got the name.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about cars. So, a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about farts. Shall I tell you what's the most incredible thing before we get into the story?
Yeah.
It's only like 38 quid to save your relationship.
Listen, seriously, think about this. Every home with our
Active
wife in
relationship.
there that don't really have too much of a sense of humour.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna need one of these. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, this dude has invented a fart-proof, smell-proof blanket.
Right, what it has a layer of high-tech carbon impregnated through the blanket that if a fart comes close to it, it neutralises
Yes.
the odour. And so, therefore, if you fart under this blanket, your girl won't be able to smell it.
You've got to love that because recently... Right, I've been holding my farts. You know, I'm in this relationship and stuff.
Yeah.
And it gives you a really bad stomach because it needs to get out.
Okay.
And, you know, sometimes you don't want to keep on going in and out the room.
Sure.
So you hold it and you just think, oh, my God, my stomach's really hurting. But if I had this blanket,
Yeah.
I could have this blanket with me 24/7 and fart up the place.
Can't you just back up to a window,
No,
crack
but-
it open and fart out of that?
Nah, man. I live on the fourth floor.
Your window's too high.
Yeah. And plus, suppose you kind of fall or whatever. Are you...
You don't have to open
Alright,
it all the way.
I've got a question for you when it comes to farts. What's most embarrassing, the sound or the smell?
I think the smell.
The smell.
The sound is
It's
funny.
jokes.
Yeah, but the smell is no joke. Do you know what I'm saying? The smell's not funny.
Do you remember when we did this on the show? Do you remember when I did this on the show and I said to you, hey, why are farts funny? And you said they're not. And we had this whole debate about it. And they are actually funny. The sound is amazing.
of them is funny, but the smell of them is not funny.
No.
And I think that if you get caught in the wrong place
Oh.
with the smell of them, it
Yeah.
don't matter how funny the sound is.
This is true. This is true.
The joke is dead.
The joke is dead. Yeah, it's true. Okay,
So
fair
listen,
dues.
we need to get this guy. We need to give him his proper big up. His name is Frank Bibbo.
Frank Bibbo, Man, you've probably saved millions of relationships.
He's a science teacher, and he came up with that.
He's like Marvin Gaye. You know Marvin Gaye, enough people were conceived, let's get it on.
Yeah.
He's like the modern day Marvin Gaye with this fart blanket.
He's saving relationships with his fart-proof blanket. Good luck, Bibbo. We hope it makes you... Well, do you know what I mean? We're mates now. We've bigged up his product. He's bound... Maybe he'll send us a couple of free ones.
I wouldn't mind a free one. Okay, so I've been given the responsibility of doing the outro, which means I've got to give you all the contact details. So, if you want to check us out on MySpace, it's www.myspace.com/Jason and Iyare. If you want to check us out on YouTube, it's www.youtube.com/Jason and Iyare. And if you want to email us, bloody email us.